This is our third key to the city, and we haven't had keys to the city for decades, and we wanted to bring back the highest civilian award, basically the way to recognize those that are Pittsburghers who have been absolutely instrumental in the positive change of Pittsburgh. And the first two awards that we recognized were two labor leaders that kept the labor movement going after the initial push after World War II that then led to where we are today. And they were Father Jack O'Malley, who spent some time in prison, organizing and fighting, and Jack Shea, the two Jacks.
That's very distinguished company.
Yes, and today we celebrate Bill Strickland. And the reasons are very self-evident to everyone in this room. And they're also very evident to people around the world. All throughout this planet, Mr. Strickland has been recognized not only for his humanitarianism, but his entrepreneurialism and his deep conviction of how you can change a place by helping people. And this bottom-up approach, individual by individual, is now being incorporated around the world. We are so fortunate to be able to share this time on the earth with Mr. Strickland and be able to walk in the same places that he walks, because he's had the opportunity not only to shape and change Pittsburgh, but to be a positive influence throughout cities across this country and cities throughout this world. He is part of our 100 Resilient Cities with the Rockefeller Foundation that is working in a network globally where Pittsburgh is back on a global map in being able to show cities what they can accomplish when they invest in people. And he has done this very unselfishly, not putting himself, but putting the mission first. And it's my honor to be able to bestow upon him the key to the city of Pittsburgh. It's a key that he's already had in many ways, and a door that he has opened for so many countless people that he'll never be able to know the lives he's changed. Whereas William Strickland Jr. was born in 1947 and raised in the Manchester neighborhood of Pittsburgh. He would graduate from the North Side's David B. Oliver High School in 1965. He would earn a bachelor's degree in American history and foreign relations from the University of Pittsburgh and graduate cum laude. Whereas at 19 years old, Bill first showed his dedication to serving others in his response to the 1968 Pittsburgh riots following the assassination of Martin Luther King Jr. His first reaction was to serve the Manchester's community's youth through arts education with the creation of the Manchester's Craftsman Guild, a program he had been inspired to create by his art teacher Frank Ross years earlier. Whereas his success led him to helming Bidwell Training Center and turning the poverty program into an ACCSC School of Excellence, serving Pittsburgh's underserved population. And whereas both Manchester Craftsman Guild and Bidwell Training Center has spent half a century providing pathways out of poverty for thousands of at-risk youth and adults in transition through an empowering educational environment. This has also exposed Pittsburgh's North Side to iconic jazz legends and sustainable sources of beauty through Manchester Bidwell Corporation's social enterprise affiliates, MCG Jazz, and the Drew Matheson Center for Horticultural and Agricultural Technology. And whereas this educational model that started in Pittsburgh has been replicated across the nation and the world, more than 10 times to date through the National Center for Arts and Technology. And whereas Bill has served the people of Pittsburgh and this region with grace and dignity over his remarkable career, his dedication and sacrifice to others has been recognized in the United States and across the world, from receiving a MacArthur Genius Award, to presidential appointments, to the National Endowment of the Arts, to receiving the GOI Peace Award in Japan. Mayors, governors, presidents have all recognized his passion. Today, we do so at home. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, William Peduto, Mayor of the City of Pittsburgh, do thank William E. Strickland, Jr. for his decades of dedication and service to Pittsburgh, awarding him with our city's highest civilian honor, the key to the city of Pittsburgh. Furthermore, declaring Friday, August 10th, 2018 is William E. Strickland Day here in our most livable city of Pittsburgh.
There's the gate.
The city of Pittsburgh.
Beautiful. Please.
Thank you. Nice day.
You still have to pay the parking meter.
That's her department. She's called my wife. She's got my wallet and the credit card. Accompanied by my daughters, who obviously I'm very proud of. And I'm honored to not only receive the award, but to receive it from you. Pittsburgh is on a roll. And a lot of that role has been because, Bill, of your extraordinary leadership, which is also internationally recognized. And it's wonderful to consider you both friend and in some ways partner in what is clearly considered a miracle, the revitalization of Pittsburgh and this region. And you and Rich Fitzgerald have created an unbeatable combination of city-county cooperation that is generating legendary status. I know because I'm around in many communities, and Pittsburgh and what you men have done is generating quite a bit of enthusiasm and quite a bit of hope. The other thing I can tell you, directly because of the success of Manchester Bidwell Corporation, the governor has recognized this effort and has recently given Manchester Bidwell a very major gift, which will allow us to continue to replicate our center here in Pennsylvania. We have a partnership with the University of Pittsburgh that's well underway, in which we're going to rebuild the Titusville campus in the image of Manchester Bidwell, and work with one of your groups, the chronically unemployed, and provide them with hope and a chance for a real life. We think that model can be scaled across Pennsylvania. We think this model can be scaled across the world. And one of the things that you don't know, but I do know, that one of the people who regards this guy in much the way I do is a fellow named the Dalai Lama. And there's an opportunity that's going to present itself, we think, in the fall for Bill and I to sit with His Holiness and talk about building a Manchester Bidwell, possibly in India. And I think it's game on.
I've got it on hold.
So stay tuned on that one. One of the wonderful parts about being associated with the Dalai Lama, when you go out and ask people for money, it's going to be very difficult for them to say no. They get used to telling me no, but they're not going to tell the Dalai Lama no, particularly if I've got Bill Peduto standing with me. So it's a bright day for Pittsburgh. It's a bright day for Manchester Bidwell Corporation. It's a bright day for the city of Pittsburgh. And it's a bright day for me to be in Mr. Rogers' neighborhood. And I mean that quite literally. Both my daughters have trolleys that were signed by Fred. And he was a good friend, a good spirit. And you should know, for those of you Trivial Pursuit buffs, that the trolley that goes around in the neighborhood passes Manchester Craftsman's Guild. We are the arts program in Fred Rogers' neighborhood. And so check that out. So for a young man who got into the University of Pittsburgh, challenged academically, to not only receive an honorary PhD from the place, I now serve as one of its trustees with great honor and great enthusiasm. So I'm feeling very special because I've got a winning board of directors, and most importantly, that man right there, who is now become CEO of Manchester Bidwell Corporation. I am very lucky and I'm very proud to have Kevin standing at my side, and members like Dawn, and I think Nancy Rockoff is here somewhere, there she is, who have really accompanied me on this journey. And now it's easy to be my friend. You know, I got the mayor giving me the keys of the city. You know, I know the Dalai Lama. So everybody's now trying to get invited to our fish fries. But it's these people that give you the courage when you're down. Today we happen to be up. But there have been times when we have struggled. But I look to you, Bill, as a source of great inspiration because you've taken on challenges and done it with a flair and an enthusiasm that truly is infectious. And I think it's infected the spirit of Pittsburgh, the region, Pennsylvania, and obviously the governor has paid very, very close attention to your leadership. And so I'm here to celebrate you as much as you celebrate me. And I look forward to our continuing partnership and association and having many more opportunities to celebrate what you so impressively have done with your life. And I look forward to participating in the continuation of the magic of a city called Pittsburgh. And thank you very much.
Get a picture. Put this down. With you with the key.
There we go.
It's made by United Steelworkers.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Yeah, and it is crafted by Wendell Lagos Forge, specifically for the city.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice day. Thank you, Mayor.
The Brotherhood of Bills.